Hey, what's good, everybody? Brent here with CPC Bodybuilding going live today. So, we got our first installment of what I'm calling Classic Chat. So, this is just my version of YouTube Live. Maybe we'll expand to Instagram if y'all want that. But just figured I would do something different, kind of just get things rolling this way, talk about classic miscellaneous topics and stuff you guys see me covering on Instagram regularly. So, we'll go ahead and jump into it, guys. So, first thing I want to talk about today is the 2024 Olympia qualified athletes. So, I know it's, really soon after the 2023 Olympia, just 2 months ago when we saw Chris Bumstead win his fifth consecutive title. But the 2024 Olympia already has 20 guys qualified for it, which is crazy to think about. We haven't even had a show yet in 2024, and we've already got 20 guys qualified for this year's upcoming Olympia in October, which is going to return to Vegas. It's going to be a huge Olympia, guys. This is going to be the 60th anniversary of the Mr. Olympia, the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. So it's going to be a huge one. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So if I am having some technical difficulties today, you guys will have to forgive me just because this is literally the first time I've ever done a YouTube Live. So we're just rolling with it. We're learning together. So, all right. So if you guys don't already follow me, make sure you check me out here on Instagram. My tag is CPC Bodybuilding. Again, my name's Brant, and I've been covering Classic here for about a year and a half when I started this page. Just kind of started it as a passion project. I love Classic. I compete in Classic, as you see there in my bio. I'm an amateur bodybuilder in the NPC, and I've just loved bodybuilding. I've been following the sport pretty closely for about half a decade now, and just studying the game myself and covering Classic. And Classic is what I love. So I thought the division deserved a lot more attention than it currently gets. So that's why I'm here covering it. So make sure you guys give me a follow here on Instagram to support me. Also subscribe to me here on YouTube as well, and share with your friends because that certainly helps the algorithm, especially if you guys like what I'm doing. Anything you share helps me and it helps get the word out because we're still in the early days of this channel, but I think we can really make Classic the main event in bodybuilding. It's well on its way. So yeah, so here's my Instagram, and talk about today was the 2024 Olympia qualified athletes. There are some crazy talented guys who we're going to see at the 2024 Classic Olympia. Now, automatically, we have 3 guys from every Olympia qualify for the following year's Olympia. So the top 3 at the Olympia every year automatically qualify for the following year. So we had Chris Bumstead, Ramon Dino, Urs Kalachinsky all finish in the top 3 at the 2023 Classic Physique Olympia. So they already qualified for the 2024 Olympia. Plus, there is a rule in the IFBB. If you have won an Olympia, regardless of division, so you could be, in open bodybuilding, you could be in men's physique, men's classic physique. Doesn't matter what it is. If you've won an Olympia, you have a lifetime invite. So not on the IFBB list currently for invited athletes, but has won a Classic Physique Olympia is Breon Ansley. Breon Ansley is going to be there too, guys. So that's 4 guys already qualified for the 2024 Olympia right off the bat. And you'll see on the website that I think there's only 18 guys that they have listed there. I think it's 18. They're omitting a couple of guys that slipped through the cracks. So I covered every show, as I do every single Classic show that happens here in bodybuilding around the world. I make sure that I try to show everybody who won the show and kind of the placings for each show. Now, Gabriel Zancanelli out of Brazil won the Fit Pura Pro last November. It was very soon after the Olympia. In fact, it was the weekend after the Classic Physique Olympia last year. So a lot of people forgot about it. And he's not listed as qualifying for the Olympia, but he did win that show that was after the Olympia. It was after the deadline to qualify for the 2023 Olympia. So it was a 2024 Olympia qualifier. So though he's not listed on the IFBB website as qualifying for the 2024 Classic Physique Olympia, Gabriel Zancanelli of Brazil has indeed qualified for the 2024 Classic Physique Olympia. So that's another addition, if you guys were looking at that list, that you might not see. Now, there's tons of talent, like I said. So obviously we got the big names like Sebum, Ramon, Logan Franklin, who you see here. He won the Sean Ray Hawaiian Pro for the second time, though we didn't get to see Logan at this past Olympia. We will see him next year, which I'm pretty excited about. But we've got really stellar athletes. Again, we've got Wesley Vissers. We've got Antoine Loth, Rookie of the Year. He came out, won his pro card, and won 2 shows in his rookie year, qualifying for the 2023 and the 2024 Classic Physique Olympia. We got Mike Sommerfeld out of Germany. He's been top 10 3 years consecutively. Everson Melo out of Brazil, another very talented guy, huge frame. Brazil bodybuilding is only continuing to grow. Brazil is the hottest market in bodybuilding right now, guys. There is definitely something in the water there. It seems like the Brazilians have really just figured out the culture around bodybuilding, and their talent pool continues to grow every single year. Their supplement partners are fantastic as well. I know Ramon is sponsored by Max Titanium Supplements. They're fantastic. They set their athletes up very well. I think Integral Medica is also a very, very highly touted sponsor. They had their name all over the Olympia stuff this year. So Brazil has it figured out, and I'm really excited to see a lot of these guys. So like I mentioned, got Gabriel Zancanelli as well. So that's 3 Brazilian guys who are already qualified for the 2024 Olympia. We've got Jaehoon Bang out of South Korea. And like I mentioned, Breon Ansley, who is a Classic Physique champion 2 times. So he gets that lifetime invite. We got Wesley Vissers, you can see there. Wesley won the Romania Pro. We got Damian Patrick. Now, he won the Rising Star of the Year last year in my awards. Damian's got some of the best shape in bodybuilding. He's one of those guys who you look at him and say, he's just got the classic look. But if you meet him in person, everybody says he looks like an open bodybuilder because he's just a massive guy. We've also got Nate Joyner out of the United States, who was Mr. USA 2022. And then in his pro debut, knocked it out of the park at the Hurricane Pro. I had the privilege of being there as I was competing myself to see Nate win his pro debut and qualify for the 2024 Classic Physique Olympia. Amazing stuff right there. We got Michael DeBoule, who is the condition king. Everybody knows that Michael DeBoule is going to show up shredded at every single show. He's never off. Patrick Torr and him have the formula figured out. They always nail the condition. Just so much talent in this lineup, guys. And I'm not going to talk about every single guy here, but if you guys want to check out the full lineup, you can go to my Instagram and check out this reel right here. I'll probably also be posting it to YouTube before too long too, if you guys want to catch it here. So those are all of your 2024 Olympia qualified athletes thus far. Now we could have a lot more because we've got something like, I think 46 or 47 shows. I have the Classic Physique schedule posted on my page. You can see right here, this is the current most updated schedule now. Actually, no, I take that back. I've got an updated one actually. So what I try to do is I try to go through the IFBB calendar, and I try to on what shows are happening this year and kind of what's going on in Classic. So there's a lot of moving pieces and lots of shows. Some of these disappear, some of them reappear. We got shows all around the world. But if you guys just want a high-level view, looking at the schedule right here, like I said, we got 47 qualifiers just this year before the 2024 Olympia. So like I said, we've already got 20 guys qualified. We could have up to 67. That's not going to happen because there are going to be repeat winners who will take away qualifications from the pool. Like, for example, If Ramon wins another show, that takes away a qualification. If wins another show, that would also take away a qualification. So there's not going to be 67 guys at this Olympia. It's not going to be as big as the 2022 Olympia, which was just notoriously huge. We had 59 guys at that Olympia. There's not going to be that many this year, guys. If I had to guess, really, with 47 qualifiers, we're probably going to have about 10 repeat winners. Generally, every year we see about 10 to 12 guys in Classic win multiple shows. So if we factor that in, plus I think we're definitely going to see a repeat winner here at the Arnold Classic. We'll get to that a little bit later. And then also some of these other shows that may fall just a bit after the Arnold Classic. I think we'll probably only have 45 athletes at the Olympia, maybe 45 to 50. And that's like kind of on the high end, really, because guys drop out, guys get hurt, and some guys just choose not to compete. There were probably 5 to 10 guys last year that I can think of off the top of my head who were able to qualify but chose not to compete at the Olympia for one reason or another, whether that be health reasons, family reasons, or they didn't think they were going to play, so they just chose not to go. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you guys want to check out the Classic physique schedule, I've got it posted here on my Instagram, and I try to update that at least once every month so everybody can check that out. And so I mentioned the Olympia, the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. That's the biggest show every single year. Now, what we've got coming up in just about, I think, 38 days, we're about 38 days out from the Arnold Classic, Ohio, the second biggest show in all of bodybuilding. Now, this is going to be, in my opinion, the Arnold Classic lineup ever in terms of classic physique. Why is that? Every single guy in this lineup right here, with the exception of one guy who's replacing Terrence Ruffin, every single one of these guys has been to the Olympia. So we've got obviously Ramon Dino, who has won the Arnold Classic already. He won it last year. He's going to be defending his crown. He's been second at the Olympia twice. And I think Ramon is well on his way to potentially becoming a Mr. Olympia if he continues to go after Chris Bumstead retires. He's the heir to the throne. There's no doubt about it. We've got Breon Ansley, 2-time Classic Physique Olympia champ. Also, the inaugural Arnold Classic Physique champ back in 2018. So he's also an Arnold Classic winner. We've also got Urs. Urs has finished second at the Arnold Classic before. So he finished second last year. He finished third in 2022. And he's finished top 3 at the Olympia multiple times. Just a fantastic talent. I mean, Urs, I can't say enough good things about him. I think he's got great shape, great potential. He's still kind of, lacking behind Ramon. Ramon seems to improve at a better rate than him, at least at the moment. And he's really gotten the best of him in the recent rivalry. But Urs is fantastic in his own right and is one of the best posers in bodybuilding and definitely deserves to be talked about as well. We've also got Wesley Vissers, who is a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. He's probably behind Urs, the second best European classic physique competitor. Maybe Mike Sommerfeld, maybe Michael DeBoule. They're all kind of very, very close and could edge each other out on any given day. But Wesley is a fan favorite. He won the Europa Spain Pro, which is one of the most prestigious shows in all of classic physique last year. He also won Romania. So he's already going to the 2024 Olympia. And Wesley's been to the Olympia multiple times. He's finished in the top 10 twice. So he's also an Olympian. Got Michael DeBoule, who finished 6th at the Olympia this past year. And we've also got Olympians Courage Opara, who he's one of the most winningest classic physique competitors active at the moment, only behind Terrence Ruffin, if I'm not mistaken. I think Courage has 6 wins, which is a lot in classic physique. Not a lot of guys can say that they've won that many shows. Terrence has, I think, 10 or 11 and is currently the most winningest active classic physique competitor. So now with that said, Terrence will not be competing here in the Arnold Classic. He's taking time off in order to prepare for the 2024 Olympia because Terrence already qualified at the Shrew India Bharat Pro. So Terrence again will not be in this lineup. And instead of Terrence, that's probably a good segue to this. Instead of Terrence, we're going to have Kendall Richmond, who won last year's amateur Arnold. I was there to cover that show, and Kendall really just came out of nowhere and surprised everybody. This was only his second NPC show. Kendall is, in my opinion, the best natural bodybuilder in the world right now, and probably has one of the most aesthetic physiques out there. And he's going to be replacing Terrence in this lineup. He got the call after Terrence dropped out. So Kendall's going to be in this lineup as well. It's another guy to watch. He's the only person in the Arnold Classic lineup who has not made the Olympia. Now, Kendall just turned pro, like I mentioned, so that is subject to change. And in addition to Kendall, we'll go through some of these other Olympians too. There's some just crazy talented guys. We've got, like I mentioned, Antoine Loth, Rookie of the Year last year. He's going to be competing here at the Arnold Classic Ohio, as well as the Arnold Classic UK. We've also got Emanuele Rigotti at Italy. Now, he qualified for the 2022 Classic Physique Olympia, did not qualify for the 2023 Olympia. Had kind of a string of disappointing performances. He had a bicep injury, and it just really wasn't his year. You know, sometimes you hit a stretch where you run up against some really tough competitors and injuries get the best of you and your body just gets really tired. And I think that's kind of what happened to him, but he's still very formidable, has beautiful shape and structure, really clean lines. And if he shows up on, he's definitely somebody to take seriously. And then also, like I mentioned, we've got a couple of the guys who are on the rise. They definitely have a rising stock in Classic with their wins last year. We have Eric Brown Jr., who made his Olympia debut at the 2023 Olympia. He won the Fit World Pro, which was the very first Classic show in the States last year. And Eric brings some nasty condition. He's definitely one of the most shredded guys in Classic. He has great shape to pair with it. Very, very classic lines. And I think Eric's condition alone is what makes him very dangerous, because not a lot of guys are willing to suffer like he is when it comes to just preparing for a show. If you're willing to suffer and you know, get down to really, really lean levels of condition, the judges reward it typically, especially in Classic. You got to come in super sharp if you want to be hanging with the best in Classic, and Eric does that. Now, speaking of the best in Classic, we got Damian Patrick. He's already qualified for the 2024 Olympia. So he came out, he won the Mid-USA, went to the 2023 Classic Olympia, and then he won the Ultimate Warriors Pro just before the 2023 Olympia to qualify him for the 2024 Olympia. So we're already going to see Damian at next year's Olympia. And then we got Darren Farrell. Darren took all of last year off after appearing at the 2022 Classic Olympia. He got there by winning the 2021 San Antonio Pro. And I thought for a second Darren was going to go to Open, but he will be competing in Classic. He just has a lot of weight to get after. So when it comes down to Darren prepping, I know he kind of hovers in like the 250s, 260s, and his weight cap, I want to say, is like 215, maybe like 220. So dude has to lose a lot of weight, and he stays in good shape year round. So I know that you know, he's pushing hard to make this weight cap, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring at the 2024 Arnold Classic Ohio. So that's your whole lineup for the Arnold Classic Ohio. I'll be covering the Arnold Classic UK in future live streams, videos, but that's your lineup. It's going to be a hell of a show, guys. March 2nd, it's March 2nd. I'm getting my days mixed up, guys. March 2nd is a Saturday. Pre-judging is usually in the morning, and finals are in the evening. I'll be there at the show covering it, making sure you guys are able to see all of the action. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully going to have some interviews for you guys as well. And then finally today, what I wanted to talk, we already talked about the 2024 Olympia and all the athletes who were qualified there, as well as the Arnold Classic Ohio. Now, I want to talk about Ramon Dino today, because he shared some updates recently that are just insane. This man is huge. Like, he just looks super, super dense in these updates. Look at that most muscular through the traps, delts, the arms. That's probably Ramon's calling card is his density and his bubbly muscle. That's one of the craziest things about Ramon is he looks like an open bodybuilder. Like he's got that pop to his muscle that a lot of these open guys carry, but he's in classic and he just has like that healthy, fresh looking type of muscle because I mean Ramon hasn't been training that long. I think he's been training for less than a decade, really. And he's just a genetic freak and he works his ass off too. Ramon is not good just because he's a genetic freak. He's good because he works really, really, really hard. And I think a lot of people forget about that. Ramon is a workhorse and it shows in his physique. You don't build that kind of density without just like extremely, extremely grueling, tough training and just pushing your body to the absolute limits and also having your diet locked in. Like I know Ramon is locked in 100% year round. He's lean year round. Even when he's, in his off season, he carries a very full, bubbly look like he always does, but it's clean. Like his lines don't like fade in the off season, which is, pretty common for a lot of guys. But Ramon stays tight year round. And the thing about Ramon that intrigues me is point of change and this kind of comes with the recent interview that uh, came from Chris Bumstead, who just visited Brazil and trained with Ramon. So I feel like we're at a point in Classic where things are starting to shift a little bit. Now, Ramon won the 2023 Arnold Classic. He again came in second at the Classic Physique Olympia this year. So he's been the runner up to Chris Bumstead twice at the Olympia. And he's, I believe, 2 years younger than Chris. So Chris right now is 28. Ramon's either 26 or 27. Don't quote me on that, guys. I know he's younger than Chris, and it's not much younger, but it's either by a year or two. Anyways, Ramon is he's not even in his prime yet, guys. But Chris just recently said that he doesn't think he's going to go past 30. Chris is already 28. He turns 29 in like a week or so. So Chris very well could be done after this Olympia or the 2025 Olympia. I personally have predicted, if you guys saw this just about a month ago, I put out a video with my bold predictions of the year before Chris even did the interview, saying that I think he's going to retire at this Olympia. This is a very special Olympia. It's his sixth Olympia. The number 6 has some significance to him because he's a big Michael Jordan fan. Michael Jordan won 6 titles, and it's the 60th Olympia. I think Chris is going to retire after this year, guys. Call me crazy, but I really think it's going to happen. And when that happens, if it's not this year, it's going to be the following year. And when that happens, who's going to step right in? It's going to be Ramon. Nobody can touch Ramon right now outside of Chris Bumstead. Like nobody is even close. And that's no disrespect to anybody else in Classic, but what I think Ramon has demonstrated is that he will improve every single year, and he will improve more than anybody else. I would even argue that this past year, Ramon improved more than Chris Bumstead did. Now, Chris Bumstead was still the champ, and he was still miles ahead of everybody else. But Ramon is closing that gap with every single year. And I still think Chris Bumstead, as long as he chooses to compete, will be Mr. Olympia. But Ramon is going to continue to improve and get better every single year. He does not waste his time. Ever since he started working with Aceto, I think things have just really locked into place and they've figured things out. Ramon is, I think, destined to be the Classic Physique Olympia as soon as Chris Bumstead's gone. I don't see anybody else challenging him. Urs can't touch Ramon right now. What was once a rivalry just 3 years ago at the 2021 Olympia, we saw Urs beat Ramon by 1 place. Ever since then, Ramon has beat Urs in 4 consecutive shows, and they have not split points. Now, to me, that turned the tide a little bit. it was a rivalry for a while, but I mean, not anymore. I think Ramon has just dominated it. And if you're beating somebody in 4 consecutive shows and not splitting points with them, to me, that says you're the better bodybuilder. And what Ramon has demonstrated too is that in the judges' eyes, he's the only one worthy of being compared with the champion. So that says a lot too in terms of what the judges think of him. And I think Ramon, once Chris retires, is going to be the classic physique Olympia champ. And right now, really the only people who, are going to maybe push him at this Arnold Classic coming up are Breon and Urs. Maybe Urs. I think Breon probably has a better shot than Urs to beat Ramon because he has a little bit more of that polished physique and probably has the qualities that Ramon doesn't necessarily have. Like he could, for example, I think if you put Ramon and Breon in specific poses, you could argue that Breon wins some of them. I think Ramon beats Urs pretty handily in every single pose, but I do think Breon could steal a couple of poses from Ramon if they're compared next to each other. Like, for example, the back double bicep, Breon versus Ramon, that's a very close pose. The front double bicep, also very close, but I don't think you could say the same about Ramon and Urs. I think Ramon wins every pose against Urs. So those are just my thoughts. I predict Ramon's going to win the Arnold Classic, and it's going to be a pretty dominant win. I don't think anybody's going to touch him, but those are just my opinions. You guys will get the full predictions here in a bit. We've still got 38 days until the Arnold Classic Ohio, where we will see if Ramon Dino of Brazil can repeat, take that 2024 title, and cruise into his offseason, preparing for the 2024 Mr. Olympia, where he will go against Chris Bumstead yet again. So that's going to conclude the live today, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you check me out here on Instagram. My tag is CPC Bodybuilding for anyone who is interested in following me. Would mean a lot. And then also, let me see here. So if you guys go to my Instagram bio, you can find all of my links here. So I got a couple of links. If you guys enjoy the stream here, if you like what I'm doing for Classic Physique, make sure you go to my channel and you subscribe. So go confirm your channel subscription to CPC Bodybuilding, guys. If you see me here, see I'm live right now. I got all these videos. I do highlights. I do you name it. So I preview most of these shows. I get the pros on, and we talk about every single competitor in the lineup. I give you guys everything you need to know, predictions for those, and highlights as well. So make sure you guys give me a follow here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to all my videos. And then also, if you guys are interested, I have some Classic Physique line this year. This is in my Instagram bio as well. So I've got these black shirts with the classic gradient on the back. These are really dope shirts. Made these myself. Put a lot of time and effort into these, and they're high quality. The pros are wearing them, and everybody who I've sold these to has loved them. So these are. I've also got these hats. This is my favorite hat right now, and I'm a hat guy. Make sure you guys check out these hats. I've got all these products on sale right now, and if you buy 2 things, you'll get free shipping in addition to these discounts. So if you guys are looking for some dope merch, some dope classic wear that you can wear outside the gym, you can wear it around as casual wear, you'll want to go check this out. So I want to thank you guys all for watching Classic Physique. I want to thank you guys all for watching CPC Bodybuilding. I almost said Classic Physique Collective because that's what the old name was, but CPC Bodybuilding is what we're doing here. My name is Brant. Make sure you guys keep it classic. I'll catch you later. See ya.